Well, I guess just first, I mean, obviously it seemed like a knee injury, but just can you walk us through what happened and just kind of how it all played out?
Most of the first round, it was a bit tough springing back and forth, and once I knew I couldn't move, it was just kind of one of them things. So getting back to the corner, risk reward, you know. I'm getting old. I'm getting up there. I planned on retiring in November after the fight in Melbourne, but we'll call it a night tonight.
Was this an injury that you came in with, or was there a kick or something like that, or you showed up with it hurting a little bit?
Yeah, I've had you know, obviously a long career MMA, a long career wrestling, and this thing's been bugging me a fair bit through camp. I sent an email to the UFC probably 3 weeks into my camp, letting them know I've seen a chiro and a physio about it, and same with my neck and lower back. So yeah, just lingering stuff. And the last couple of weeks, it's you know, as you try to go harder, you know, things start to flare up. So I've kind of been very much bipolar in my training camp in the last 3 weeks. It's been sprint, rest longer. But when you wake up, sprint. So it's yeah, it's been hard. It's been a hard camp.
So you mentioned you were going to try to make it through the Melbourne event and then call it a day after that. What changes? Why you think, you know, not gut it out and give it a shot?
I couldn't gut it out tonight, so why gut it out another time, you know? I had a rough camp. The stress of just worrying about being healthy and worrying about your performance and all that. Too much, you know. I've come a long way. I kind of cheated the system. I've been a wrestler my whole life, and once I couldn't wrestle in college, this was the thing I turned to, and you know, I extended another 15 years, you know. So I can gracefully hang him up and call it a day. The last couple of fights, I've really had to tough it out. Fighting Rick Story really hurt with the lower back, sucked. I was out there seeing one of the Ultimate Fighter chiropractors, you know, every day before the fight for, you know, 2 weeks, and that was terrible. Getting the win against John Howard, I thought about it, and I'm like, man, I got one more year in me before I really settle down and life takes over and the wife wants to get back to work and resume her career. I'm like, oh, come on, you know. So this year was me being greedy, trying to get in 2 or 3 more.
What's going to be the biggest highlight as you think with Graham? Obviously a long storied career. What's the highest moment for you?
This cookie. No, I mean, honestly, all of it. Again, the fact that I cheated the system, I was a pretty decent wrestler, but I never had the accolades of some of these guys that you see, the Koscheck's and Cormier's. To be able to come and have a very successful MMA career, to get through as many fights as I did, especially early on, without getting beat up. I mean, we see it now where guys have 2 or 3 fights, and that's enough. You see guys that have 1 fight and don't come back. You see guys that, you know, see who they're fighting on an amateur fight night and don't show up to the fight. So to be able to actually push through and fight karate guys, fight boxers, fight big, scary heavyweights, you know what I mean, and get through that, and actually get to where it turned into an art instead of a fight. To be able to kind of do that caterpillar to butterfly thing, that was pretty cool.
What's next for you? I'm assuming if you're ready to make this decision, you know what the next phase is. So what does the future hold for you?
Let my wife go to work, and sleep in, and figure out how I'm going to coach and where. Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. Thanks, Brian.
Cool. Thanks. All right, guys.